I knock my husband well, I'm Ondo is Ondo. We know say Ondo like to the knock.
What if I am created to be a porn star?
Adam and Eve, they had sex. There was no marriage before their sex. Who was the priest present?
How was God able to decipher that this is the kind of woman? Me, I'll tell you, Ogbeni knock your big word. To that alone, marry her. So,
Listen, I was going to remove penis. Penis no pass like this.
This mindset of size is a social construct.
Do you know the kind of style? Do you know the kind of style your daddy Joe and mommy Joe do in the house? So you'll be saying, I want to look like fashion. You cannot say I should put on.
Hello dear viewers, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Christian Living Room. I am Katie White, your host as usual, and today we are talking on the topic of sex before marriage. Very tempting. This video is from Cruise, the YouTube channel Cruise, and let's get right into the video.
Kindly step forward if you agree with the prompt. Marital compatibility can mostly be tested through sexual intercourse.
Not at all. I do not agree at all that marital compatibility can mostly be tested through sexual intercourse, because there are people who are sexually compatible yet they cannot keep a marriage or they cannot be committed in marriage. So sex, I think, is even the least thing when it comes to choosing a partner or being compatible. And this is Christianity apart. This is reality.
Well, I don't agree that sex is the least thing. Sex is one of the biggest thing. But I'm not saying that sex is
the
sexual,
only thing.
It's not the only thing, but it is something which is very, very, very important, because, well, when you're getting married to somebody, you supposedly have to be with that person for the rest of your life, and man needs sex. Very important for the man. So compatibility should be top of your mind. But I'm not saying that is the only thing, though.
It cannot even be used as a test.
I go buy clothes. We are not tester.
That's what I always say.
I want the clothes saying oversize on my space.
So the thing is, for me, about the sexual compatibility thing, I need to know my partner's sexual powers. Is he the type that when we get there, the bed game is I want to just knock you, or is I want just the slow kind of movement thing? So because you just see so many people like, they are not in for the all they want to do is and probably I'm a fan of, I just want something
Like
that
no intimacy.
exactly, no intimacy, nothing, and you just want to go straight to.
From a Christian point of view, what she's saying, it's actually true. Okay, I get her point, I get her logic, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of Christian marriages are having issues today, because they don't talk about sex. We are not saying you should do the sex, no, but have conversations about it. When you are doing premarital counseling, have those conversations about your partner's sexual prowess, as she calls it. Have those intimate conversations. You must not do the act to be able to talk about it. Yes, maybe both of you are virgins. You both don't yet know. Okay. But what do you think you like? Let's leave the virgins out of this, because maybe the virgins, they never know to where they like. They'll go and find out together when they're married. But those who have tested before and you are no longer a virgin, you definitely have something you like. You definitely have a way you like to be touched. And I think that those are conversations that you need to have with your partners. In as much as you guys are Christians, they are as important as discussing finances in marriage. Yes. Or these men, even if they are virgins, they should be taught how to have sexual intercourse. The ladies should be taught how to have sexual intercourse with their partners. All of this conversation is not a taboo, all right? Fornicating is the taboo, but having those conversations is not a taboo, please.
But my thing too is that, how effective is that conversation going to be if the act is not actually there, because you cannot just have the conversation. If the man tells you that he has this prowess in the bedroom but he doesn't really know anything, how do you know?
You guys will know in marriage.
Without doing the act.
You have to learn in marriage.
See how difficult it is.
No, you have to learn in marriage. That's why there is premarital counseling. Keep talking about it. You know, you can say you have the prowess, but the way you talk about it, it can sell you out. No, I am very strong in bed, you know. I'm very tough in bed. How tough? What do you do? I last. I can last. What do you do? You can last.
But the thing is, the woman who might actually even know if you are faking it has to be provided somebody who is experienced. And men are not looking for experienced women too. So, a paradox, like I said. Christianity gives us a lot of paradoxes. For it to be actually effective, the doing has to do so that you actually know what you're getting into for the rest of your life. The rest of your life.
I actually think that it affects mostly the ones who have tested before marriage, because the ones who are virgins, they really don't know the difference. They have not tested anything. They have never known anything. They're entering a clean slate. It's easier. I think that's why the Bible says that you should not fornicate before marriage, so that you don't know anything. You are not comparing your spouse to any person, because all of this starts when you start comparing. I've tested this thing. No, this guy is not as good as A. B is not as this as that. So it becomes really, really hard for you to just go in. But the one we never do nothing, you don't know whether it will be different. So she's just going there to learn, or he's just entering there to learn, and you guys get to know just both of you hopefully for the rest of your life.
No romance. I'm married. Baba, I knock my husband well. In fact, now currently he's saying, babe, it's calm because Baba, the styles before marriage. Baba self no say I'm Ondo is Ondo. We know say Ondo like to the nap. And I said that okay.
While listening to this, a question just popped into my mind, and I'd like to ask you, the viewers, what you think about it. Yeah, we know you're not supposed to fornicate before you marry, but can a couple that has fornicated, I'm asking this to the Christians because I know the stigma we have around this, can a couple who has fornicated have a good and successful marriage? Because, you know, they always make it seem like if you guys had sex before the marriage, God is not there. Can it be possible? Can they have a good and successful marriage? Yes. If yes, why? If no, why? I'm going to give my answer after I see your answers.
Well, I'll give my own answer now.
Okay.
Maybe not from the Christian point of view, because Christians will probably fall over heels to answer that one. But actually, it's sex before marriage does not affect lasting relationships the same for women or as for men. The more sexual partners women have before they get into a long-lasting relationships, the more detrimental it is for that relationship. And conversely, the more sexual partners a man has before getting into a long-lasting relationship is better for the relationship. Ideally, both of you want to go in as virgins, but the probability for that to happen is slim to none. So, but before women get to the age of marriage, or before they get to the time of marriage, they have learned how to deal with a lot of men. The men are the ones who come up to the woman, right? Mm-hmm. The men are the ones who do the chasing. So even if the woman doesn't want to have contact with men are still going to get to have contact with her. And by the time she's getting into a marriage, she would have known already how to source guys out, to know who is coming here just to joke, who is coming to be serious, and all of those things. But a virgin man doesn't know how to deal with women. And by the time you want to deal with a woman who has had like a black belt in dealing with women, she's going to pass on to you. So So, but the man who has actually had experience with women is going to also be able to know who is a good woman for him and know who is just out there to finesse him and rob him of his precious resources. So, good for men, bad for women.
I reserve my answer.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
Honestly, I feel sex is too little a thing to determine level of compatibility in a relationship. There's emotional compatibility, financial compatibility, ideological compatibility, your belief in religion is religious compatibility. So all of these things come before sex. Sex is not enough. It's not something that should get such priority in it.
And just to add to what this guy says, I feel like sex blinds you. Like when you start having sex before marriage, you are blinded to all of the other red flags. If you see a lot of girls staying in relationships that they have been advised to let go of, know that sex is involved. And that is the only thing keeping them there. Because girls, especially for girls take sex very personal. You know, it's like to them they are giving everything. It's just like when guys give money. You know, it'll be like, I spent so much on this girl and all of that. That's how girls are like, I gave myself, I gave him my body. And then you put a blind eye on every other thing that he's doing. Like, as long as he's good in bed, every other thing is good. And that's how you enter a relationship where after those sexual desires have worn off, because it wears off with time. Like, yes, you might be attracted to this person, but as you guys get older, you get tired, and now you see that sex is not the only thing. All of those things that you close your eyes, start saying that, I know we not saying that's why you be there, that's why you like for drink me, boy. And then you start having issues at that point. So I really think that sex should be kept out as much as possible from the relationship before marriage.
Well, you know, I think I would agree for that from the woman's point of view or from the woman's side. Because what actually arouses the woman is not necessarily sex. Because before you even get to the sex, the woman has to have been aroused already before you even get to sex. Because what are women looking for actually in partners? They're looking for a man that can provide, a man that can protect, a man that is going to be able to die for her and everything. I think that is where she really derives her own pleasure, in real pleasure and real fulfillment in a relationship, because that's what they're actually looking for in a man. But from a man's point of view, the sex has to be good. But
And what makes you think that girls also want good sex?
No, of course, girls want good sex, right? But I don't think that is not the main thing that they put in front while looking for a partner, right? Because when a man is with a woman, the woman shows her loyalty through sexual fidelity. You know that, of course, we all agree that if a woman cheats on a man, is so much worse than if a man cheats on a woman. Because for a woman to cheat on a man, there is that emotional part. There is that means the man she doesn't probably love or even respect the man anymore. It's huger treachery than when a man cheats on a man. And the way that the man cheats on a man, which I think is equal to the way that the woman sexually cheats on a man, is if the man spends his hard-earned cash and his resources and his protection on someone else. Because if a man is doing that to some other woman, then I think that is effectively cheating on the woman. That is the type of treachery. Because men are looking for sexual fidelity, while women are looking for protection and guidance and leadership and all of those. So it shouldn't be for the woman, it shouldn't be in front, but for the man, of course, because if your woman is not able to satisfy you it's not able to satisfy you, which you have very slim chances that he will even be able to satisfy you alone, then it is going to be very difficult for the man.
Okay.
Relationship. So I just feel consensual conflict you can learn. If you ask people that are married, there are people who probably they are married and in months they don't.
I think I'm going to disagree with that.
For me, sex does not define compatibility. I think the early people that agreed to it were too much in a haste to talk about naka whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
Why are we not talking about our blood group? Why are we in haste to talk about the knack? I like the fact we talk about financial aspect of it. Oh, will be fair. If you don't have money, the knack self, they will not give it to you.
When you look at the book of Hebrew, it said marriage is honorable, but
And the bet on the past. Yeah.
So it means that when you defy that bet, there's a consequence for every of your action. If you look at Galatians, it says something 6:7. Say, don't be mocked. Whatever a man sow,
So shall he
or
reap.
she will reap. My name is Gordon Davis Tetega. To be sincere with you, I'm a Bible student. I live my life according to that scripture. You know what I'm saying? So biblically, it's wrong. God that created you, He knows why He said, don't do this before this. He knows. He has been here before you came. So I used to tell my guys, when God said don't do this, there's a reason He said don't do it. Meeting my wife, I didn't have sex with her until our wedding night. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? He's 5 years plus now, and he has been 2 kids by the grace of God.
Okay, you're married, I'm married. I'm 7 years going. Baba, if you never test them before, you see from your 3rd, 4th year, it starts becoming kind of boring.
Man, you see the mindset.
No, wait, please.
It's really
Don't
the
say it's the
mindset.
mindset. Probably your mindset. Now, there are lots of things that women don't say, especially when it comes to marriage. Even to you as the husband, because we want to make you feel good. So now, we did say, it's not like we're trying to say sex is the first thing. He said something about the, Baba, after you don't confirm, say, okay, genetically, we're compatible. In every other aspect, we're compatible. What left?
Did I mention? Hold on.
Sorry. Then we now get married. That is when I now realize my libido. Now, most times, most men have started having sex since. Women, because of societal whatever, can still try to chill till a later.
Well, like I said earlier, I think Christian men especially should learn about sex. Not necessarily have it before marriage, but learn about it, because I've noticed that a lot of Christian men are stereotyped. They don't want to learn. They feel like they know it all. Holy Spirit is going to show you. Holy Spirit is not going to come and show you how to satisfy your women in bed. I'm actually loving the fact that there are churches are beginning to talk about it. There is this, I think Pastor Kingsley has a whole branch on wholesome sexuality, where they teach men, married men, how to satisfy their wives. Okay? And wives how to satisfy their husbands sexually in the bed. So I feel like it's getting into the church. So we need to talk about this. But you see some of these sexual classes. You see women are full there. Men, where are you? Christian men, where are you? You are nowhere to be found. And there is some truth in what this woman is saying. A lot of Christian women, especially those that have tested before, they are just quiet. Like, they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to tell you that you're a 1 minute man. They don't want to tell you that it's not going. It's not giving. Because Christian men have this ego. So forgive me if I'm saying Christian men, but this is a Christian show. So yeah, Christian men have this ego. I've seen it. I know what I'm talking about. They have this ego. They feel like they know it all. They are too church-minded, too spiritual. That is carnal. And they think that sex is just go in, bam, come out, tram, spill whatever, and if they get pregnant, you have done it. Meanwhile, that's not what sex is. I think it's more than that. We all know it's more than that. So I would advise Christian brothers to be open-minded, willing to learn before your wife. Let me not talk.
Kindly step forward if you agree with the prompt. Sex before marriage is a sin.
Yes. According to our Bible, fornication is a sin. But now I'm going to ask you another question. Will you go to hell if you fornicate? You know, the Bible talks about sexual sin. Every time when the Bible talks about sexual sin, it says it's a sin against your own body. So it's a sin against my own body. No, any sexual sin, fornication, adultery, masturbation, whatever, is a sin against my own body. Now the question is, are you going to go to hell when you fornicate? I would really like to know. Sincerely, I'm asking it out of the sincerity in my heart. I want to know the answer.
To be honest, I don't want to be biblical about it. I want to be very logical. We know it in our subconscious, even before it happens, that we're about to commit a sin. But I'm sorry, that's a sweet sin that is hard to deviate from. I'm the son of a preacher,
wow.
And my dad will always tell me, you need to be married to legally, go into intercourse. But, even though I know it's a sin, I must be honest with you, I can't stop this guy from keep going. I'm still going to keep doing it.
A lot of Christians do that.
The very first day you hug your woman, you had a response down there. So I agree with the fact that sex before marriage is a sin, but the Bible also says there's no small sin and there is no big sin. Sin is sin. I also know there's a verse in the Bible that says our righteousness is like filthy rag before God. So why am I trying in extra efforts to look clean before God? So, in the end, it's a sweet sin. I'm never going to stop.
And the disagreeers, please step forward.
Sex before marriage is not a sin. And I have my reasons. I believe in God. I love God, but I don't believe in religion, and you are in the society first before whatsoever religion or whatsoever thing that you want to believe in. So that stereotypical thing of, and you're not backing it up.
Let's
you are a pastor now, I know. My dad is a pastor too. Sorry. If you have to ask me, per se, I'll tell you, Ogbeni, not your big word. Tobatilu Maria. So, this is Africa society, not religious society.
Is there when that girl was opening her mouth? Because
I think from the question, right? Just from the question asking if sex before marriage is a sin, the very fact that they are calling it a sin already takes us to Christian religion. Because if it was talking about societal whatever, they wouldn't be calling it a sin. Because a sin is not.
Are you sure Muslims don't see it as a sin?
No, I mean maybe Muslims they will be like haram, like sexual intercourse before marriage is haram, which is like forbidden. That's what they will probably call a sin for them. I don't know exactly how they do that, but yeah, just for the fact that they're asking if it is a sin. A sin actually means something, and it means something in the religious faith, and not in the secular faith, or not in a secular environment. So maybe in a secular environment, sin will not really mean anything. Sin probably means in a secular environment something bad. But when you ask about that being a sin, it really takes us into the religious realm. So maybe just by the definition and by the dogma, it is a sin. But then it's whether you're fine with it or you're not. Or if it is consequential to your belief or not.
Someone used to say, find a sin you are comfortable with and just please, if you can avoid, like, even like just out of the aspect of sin, there are a lot of disadvantages with premarital sex. One, like that guy said, you guys don't even know your compatibility yet. Okay, what if you get pregnant and then find out that you guys are not compatible and you guys start giving birth to sickle cell children? Or there are STDs everywhere. HIV/AIDS is still outside. It's true that there are drugs now, but it's there. And since there are drugs, it's even worse because they are so healthy. They look really healthier than even you that is not even sick.
Life is risky.
Not that kind of risk. Because if you wait till marriage, trust me, you guys will be able to do your blood test, do all of those tests, and find out that you find out those things so that if you are entering inside knowing that this person is having HIV, syphilis, hepatitis, I'm entering with my full head and my full brain. But not the one that you guys just do and then you start coughing after 3 days. After 1 month, you want to go to the hospital. HIV positive. I think that's why the Bible says that sex is a sin against our own body, because there are consequences to their actions. Let's say there's no HIV. Okay, look at my own story, for instance. I got pregnant, I had to abort the baby. If I don't prefer going inside sex, first I prefer carry belly. Before I want to go and do an abortion, like the sin was leading to another sin. So, guys, and some people even, I was lucky I did that abortion and I survived. Some people do it and they die. All because now if you control what was in between your legs.
Child, you must be your woman. You must. So that you can know the woman you are getting married to. Not go and marry nonsense and, at the end of the day it's going to be a different story. Did you not do it before? Did you not see it before you go into it?
I don't get all of this don't go and marry nonsense and sex is something that can be learned now, except if the girl is not teachable. I think the nonsense here should be in the girl's character, the girl's attitude, but not in the sex. I believe sex is something that can be taught and that can be learned. It's all communication with your partner. So if it's the sex that is your basis, so knowing whether the girl is nonsense or not, then but that I don't agree. I do not agree with you at all.
I'm a Christian. No? I'm a born again Christian by the standard. Sometimes I used to sit down and do logical reasoning. I used to be a realist most of the time. I will now be asking Adam and Eve, when they were created, we don't know till date if they had sex. Before, because God created them. What we only know and we are taught is that God created Eve so that because he felt Adam was lonely in what aspect?
Now this Adam and Eve issue. There's been a lot of talk about it, and a lot of people, I'd like to know what you think. A lot of people have said the apple that Adam and Eve ate was not actually a physical apple. Some people argued that how could the tree of life, it's a tree, the Bible does not say an apple tree, the Bible says the tree of life. Where was that apple coming from? The fruit was not even specified. So a lot of people argue that that apple was actually they do, and then Adam ate the forbidden fruit. And both of them ate the forbidden fruit and the eyes were opened. So I don't know, what do you think? Is that true? Because I know that the Bible is made up of a lot of personification and a lot of,
I actually think it is just disingenuous to bring up Adam and Eve in an instance like this, because marriage it's a recent thing. You cannot go back to Adam and Eve and be talking about marriage. the concept of marriage, there was not even a concept as marriage at that time. It was Adam and it was Eve. You could even consider that was the first husband and the first wife. But matrimony was not a thing yet.
Yeah.
So it is very disingenuous to bring up Adam and Eve and be like, whatever. At the end of the day, they did not really even have a choice. There was just the two of them. What should they do?
No one else to look at. They had animals.
What should they do? and they were probably even still discovering themselves. They were like,
why are you like this?
There's a hole here. This one fits. Let's try. And then what happened.
Oh my God.
People have sex before marriage mostly because of lack of self-control.
True. I think you can have control over your sexual desires, and I will not say mostly because of lack of self-control, but self-control is like a very important factor why people have sex before marriage. Because why can you not control yourself? Why? Can I know why?
I think generalizing it to men and women is not right, because it is not the same for men as it is for women. Women who have sex before marriage is lack of self-control. Men who have sex before marriage is just exploration.
Oh, wow.
It's a necessity.
They don't have self. I've known men.
They need to have that experience.
I've seen men who have dated, no sex, and got married, no sex. You can control yourself.
But those are the men who are getting crushed in their marriages. One of the things that used to make men actually marry in the yesteryears was because of sexual access, right? Because you couldn't have sex with a woman unless you guys were married.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get married, and then the wife refuses you sex.
And you marry another wife.
But they have been told that you have to be married only to one wife. Because I think there are a lot of men, really a lot of men, even when you even look around, you see a lot of households married households, which are devoid of sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are a lot of households where they don't have sexual intercourse. And it is not because the man does not want to have sexual intercourse. It's because the woman is withholding it and using it as a weapon. That is why.
Even for play love stuff, you know, even say your parents they play love. No one believe.
That is why the man has to know the type of woman he's getting into. He needs to be able to deal with these women out here, because, and if he doesn't, then he will be that sucker who is going to be taking whatever the woman is given at whatever time that the woman is given. So they need to explore and they need to know. But women need to be chaste and keep it to themselves.
Hey. Oh.
Let me share a story with you. One of my mentors was saying they are planning to get married with his wife. So he got a 3-bedroom apartment 6 months ago. So he didn't move in. Why? Because he knew if he moved in, the wife will say, I want to come and spend nights. So he got the place, paid for the place. He said it was the same month they want to get married. That is when they now move. He now moved. After the wedding, the wife now came. Do you know why he could do that? Because he could control himself.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
The disagreeers are many.
They have sex before marriage because of lack of self-control. But there are people that, quote and unquote, are supposedly virgins that masturbate. So what do we say about that?
There are people that, because other people are doing this thing, I'm not going to do it. I will only do it if I feel like, when I want to. Even people that have sex back to back, at the point they get tired. Whenever it comes to their mind, whenever it comes to their mind, they engage themselves with like.
Hold on, don't say that you feel tired. Speak for yourself.
Whether you lose or you see, as the same is same.
Before it continues, I have another question for you. So, it so happens that we are posting this video today and Valentine's was yesterday. So, did you? Did you do they do? And was it because of lack of self-control? I don't know why I'm laughing. I didn't do anything. Please, okay? We're taught that Valentine's is not a day for fornicating. It's a day of love, not only to boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife, to everybody, okay? So I do not do the do.
It is a day to love. It is a day to love. So feel free to love and be loved.
You can love
and make
every day.
love.
Oh!
So yeah, do the do. Y'all out there should be doing the do.
Please, Christians, I hope you're keeping yourselves out there. I hope you're keeping yourselves.
Sex before marriage help partners stay faithful to each other.
This is a complicated one. I don't think that sex before marriage has really anything to do with you being faithful to your partner. But I think that if you cannot control your sexual desires before marriage, when you are married, you might not be able to control those sexual desires. Might. I said might, please. But it's not the basis for whether your partner will be faithful or not. I've seen people who never had sex before getting married and they were still unfaithful. I, for one, I never had sex with my husband before we got married. The marriage did not go far. But there are other people who have gone far that have had, you heard this guy say he had been 5 years already. So you cannot really use that as a basis. A person who is unfaithful is unfaithful. One who is going to cheat on you will still cheat on you. So I don't think that, for this I'll say no. All right. Sex before marriage, wait oh. It says sex before marriage help partners stay faithful to each other. No, I thought he said meant no sex before marriage help partners stay. No, I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that one. Instead, sex before marriage can instead increase the risk of you being unfaithful or you cheating, because what if you now get married and due to something your partner can no longer satisfy you the way she was satisfying you before marriage, or the way he was satisfying you before marriage, and then
why does that have to change? That's the reason why they're even doing it before marriage now.
So many things could happen. Especially for women, they could get pregnant, start giving birth, they are tired, they are no longer even sexually attractive, physically attractive to you, their partner again. And you know, when women have given birth, sex now becomes like something really far-fetched for them. They are just their children.
I think you see now, when I was talking about sexless homes, right? Mm-hmm. It's because of those type of excuses. They use women will use pregnancy, and I have given birth, I have children to take care of, and this to let themselves go, become fat, carry weight for outside, become very sluggish. You come back home, your wife that used to look very nyanga, you come back to the house, your ogasa is just lying behind. It's like, masa, there's no arousal anymore. And those are the type of things that hurt marriages, because at the end of the day, a man is still a man. A man still needs that arousal from the wife, and the way that they were before they got married, the man always expects the woman to be in that way, in that shape, and everything. And I think it is usually on the woman to recognize that and make an effort to keep that her shape, to keep looking nice. And of course, for the man to provide and do his own role in order for her to be a partner with you. I actually don't know of couples. Like, you see a woman, they have been married for like 30, 40 years, and you see the woman and she's still looking very healthy, very young, very athletic, and you're like, wow, how is that man going to leave you? How is that home not going to be strong? Because she takes good care of herself. But when women let themselves go, that is also the way that the men start to lose attraction for them. But the man is not going to go out anyways. He's just probably going to go and look for it elsewhere. And, life.
That's actually very important as well. Women, don't leave yourself like every time the man comes out, just because you have children, you are cooking, you're always smelling the Maggi and so pepper and spices, and you're always wearing kaba or you're tying wrapper. Please change. Especially our Christian women, they'll be like, they don't care, you should love me the way I am, blah, blah, blah. You're always in kaba morning to Sunday. Bibi kaba, tying wrapper like that. True. Mommy.
With Christian women sometimes think it is a bad thing to be sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Meanwhile, it's not.
I would say it is a bad thing for you to show off what is supposed to be for your man alone to every other person. Do not be sexy on the internet. Do not post sexy pictures of yourself on the internet. That is a no. But be all types of sexy in front of your man, because that is what he is there for. And that thing has been kept for him, so it is for him to be consuming.
He has paid.
So
he has paid the price.
Don't be depriving your men of that, man. Don't be depriving your men of that. When you deprive him of that, his friend is going to tease him somewhere. They're going to be drinking a bottle of wine somewhere, and they'll be like, see that cheeser there? And the cheeser is going to call him that patron, and she's going to wine small wine in front of him. Ogasa is going to stand and gang. Before you know it.
Yes,
so, yeah. We are weak. We are only humans.
Oh wow. Only humans. I see.
You've already seen it. You've already tested it. You know it is what you want. It is what you would like to stay with. Like I said, I tested though. And I said, this size, it's not a size that I'll be this kind of man. The way you're seeing it, it's not something that I'll say tomorrow, I want to go and test another one. No, it's going to be all faithful. You understand? It's going to be all sweet. You get what I'm saying? So I checked it. I saw I was cool with it. Before then, I'd had some. So I don't check and balance, say, okay,
experience.
Okay, I like this type, but this type one day in between. So is that alone?
Yeah. I would never speak for somebody else but myself. I had an experience with one of my exes. That was my very first time experiencing what a blowjob is. Right. And after then, trust me, let's imagine that was supposed to be my partner. After then, I hated blowjob for years until a professional came through. Right. This girl was introducing tits while you are blowing. I didn't know how to. At first, when the slop went through, I was enjoying it, but before I know, when it started getting intense, tits was, it was feeling like chainsaw. I didn't know where to start. So my hand was on her head. I was trying to like pull the hair, but she's like, no, don't pull me.
Stance on blowjob.
No, don't kill me, yo. So let's imagine I ended up with.
What's your stance on blowjobs?
Well, I don't see a problem if you guys are a couple. Like, I'm not going to talk about premarital people sex because it's not even right. But if you guys are a couple, why not? It's not part of sex.
Okay.
It's part of the sexual experience.
And what do you think of the other way around?
Same. It's part of the sexual experience.
It's a salo.
And it's crazy that I see a lot of Christians see like a taboo. It's not sex. I don't know. Maybe you guys will tell me. It's sex now.
I think maybe the argument they'll make for that. I think maybe the argument they will make against that is that sex is for procreation. And blowjob is not going to. If you do blowjob from today to tomorrow, you will never procreate. So maybe you should be putting in the right hole.
And not for pleasure, I don't even think that we'll be having sexual desires before, sexual urges before even get married. Why are they there? If not only procreation, God will start the bond before we're married. So I think it's first for pleasure and then procreation. What if you are unable to give birth? What if you are barren? God forbid. But what if you are barren? You not enjoy sex again? It's first of all for pleasure and then procreation. That pleasure, I think sex is like a reward that God gives to, married people. Let me put it that way. It's like a reward. Enjoy the reward. You guys waited for it. Enjoy it in every way you can enjoy it. Blow job or going down or still part of sex. I know that there are some people who may not like it. Maybe your man does not like it, then that's a different thing. Like maybe he doesn't like it. Maybe the woman may not like it. That's a different thing. People can always have a conversation. But to say it's outrightly bad, I don't say anything bad in it. You guys are a couple. Enjoy.
Trying to help them. Can the disagreeers please step forward?
Our pastor
being
is back.
in a situation whereby, we did the did, we do the do, every possible and matters, crazy things was done. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to generalize because men will say that's not the way everybody is. The whole sex before marriage, does that mean they'll be faithful with each other? No. And at the end of the day, and I was like, oh, wow, so you want to be crazy all around? Then do your thing, and I opt out.
Most people who engage in marital sex, they oftentimes are not limited to one person. They have different experiences from different people.
Okay.
Today you are with Shola, today you are with
Is it before?
Tayo. Yeah, before the marriage.
Okay.
So when they now get married, maybe one night you are remembering Tayo, that the way Tayo used to do back then. And you'll be like, let me just...
For instance now, I'm a Ghanaian. If you've been to Ghana, you know how my sister they look, you know the figure 8. That's the picture of the kind of woman I like. I've been to 7. But now see the game changer. When it comes to marriage, if you want to involve God in that matter, the picture is a different thing entirely. I'm Mrs. Semuchi.
It's true, yeah.
Me, I want that thing. I get what I'm saying. But God knows the future. Do you know the woman I'm married now? Do you know the beautiful thing about it? After you will know that she has given birth to one child. Slim,
I think that's where the appearance thing
That's where the appearance. Like what we say here, keep yourself. Keep yourself. Don't just let yourself lose just because you have had children or you have had a couple of children. Still keep yourself and look attractive even when you're old and wrinkled. That said, I have to start going to the gym.
Because I want to come up with something. The pastor is that not? And you've been backing your facts with Bible and co. When you saw your woman, is it that God showed you like naturally, or it was when you went to pray? And how was God able to decipher that this is the kind of woman that you want?
Look, I'll answer you in a few minutes. I get what I'm saying. When we met in a youth gathering, I see a fine yellow girl. I like her.
But what you've been doing before you gave
calm down. I made you. Let me make my point.
You've been on the street before you met.
Okay, relax. I like that because see, one thing you need to understand about marriage is that marriage does not need to come by prophecy. Marriage by what you see. You need to see the package.
That was what you already found.
That's what that lady was saying now.
I have to see if I saw her and I liked her. Marriage is a different thing entirely. God is this person you want to spend the rest of your life with. And I don't want to make mistakes. So because I don't want to make mistakes, so I go back to Rebecca. How far is she the one or not? Even before she came, I was dating a girl before she came. The lady I dated before I met her. I wanted to get married with her because we've been together for years. So I wanted to settle down with her. So I have to pray. Because as a child of God, before I make any move, I must pray. I don't know about you. So I pray, Lord, is this person the woman for me? And that's how he spoke to me. He told me no. I immediately said no, and I move on.
You don't break my heart.
Listen.
Don't break my heart.
No, I didn't do that.
You don't break person heart to be that.
She made the job so easy for me. She's not the calling type. I called her most of the time, so I just stopped calling.
Yeah, you see this your
Madam, listen.
Now lie, now you choose for yourself. There was this auntie in the picture. Your wife was in the picture already.
No.
You now felt.
I don't even see her then. I'm not even, this girl, I was in Ghana. Before I left Lagos for Ghana, we've been dating. I've not even seen this one. I've not even met her at all.
I thought you said.
You know what I'm saying?
But there was dating someone.
I've not even met her at all.
Now we go put your nyash.
Married to have sex is what makes the marriage worth the wait.
Waiting to marriage to have sex is what makes marriage worth the wait. To an extent, yeah. It can be it's sweet there when you wait and then on the wedding night, he didn't care.
Wedding night, are you sure? after all that tire. Wedding night.
I did they do on my wedding night, tire or no tire, please. You can as well be tired. I know people who get married and maybe 3 days later that they finally do anything, but I feel like waiting really gives that pleasure. You know, when you finally marry and then you have been waiting, and then it's sweet. I agree.
Anyways,
it's worth the wait.
I actually think that was something in the yesteryears when the only way that you could have access to that down there was through marriage.
2017 was the yesteryears. Now you're making me feel old.
I feel with the level of hypersexuality that we have now in our current society, everywhere you go, you see sex everywhere. Sex is physical everywhere. So I think being able to control yourself and keep yourself till when you get that one person that you actually are willing to share your body with for the rest of your life, I think it's something that is genuine and cements your relationship with the person. It connects you with the person spiritually, emotionally. It seals it for you.
Patience is a virtue that we need to convert as a people. And in life, when you're already in, you're already out. That's why so many marriages today, they are few years, they are broken because they're already in. But there's a need to wait. It's sweet to wait. When you wait for that thing that you love so much, on that you enjoy it. I remember a particular time, I went for all night. I came back, my wife has been waiting for me. She actually wanted the thing. I get what I'm saying. But something why I want to share this thing is that's why you need to be spiritual. Is that some of you that say spiritual? This is why you need to be spiritual. Is this? So do you know after praying that all night, I had so much power. You know when you pray, the one who make love that morning, I've never had that kind of energy before. That's spiritual. You don't know why it needs to be spiritual. It's not things about praying alone. I've never stayed that long for that very long time. I just came out for.
I've heard this thing before. I think when I was about getting married, someone told me that. I think one woman of God told me that. She said, men are highly horny. That she used that word. Men of God, let me put it, are highly horny after a powerful ministration or after some power-packed prayer. And I tested that to be true. Let me tell you. It's true. After they've had a power-packed program, power-packed ministration, they have prayed, they have gone, their level. It's like they just have to release all of that energy.
They come back and say super gay.
Because she wanted, I have to give her because she's my wife. The way I stay on, the energy was out of this world. So being spiritual is the best thing that can happen to anybody.
The society we find ourselves today is hammering so hard on sex. There's no movie now that you watch that does not have sexual content. Podcasts is another disaster. They come online, they just say these things vulgar.
Like you were saying the other time, I said maybe probably the third year or the marriage, this thing is lost. I think it's because of what has been happening in the past. Probably you've been having sex for like 10 years before you got married, so there's really nothing exciting again. Everything, all the excitement is gone already.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
Our disagreeers.
I'll share a very quick story, and this is my personal experience. A couple of years back, I met a lady much older than me. She's about 7 or 8 years older than I was. Pretty sweet lady. And fast forward to our hangouts, she told me, I was watching that ring finger. I saw the sign, but there was no ring on it. So I went forward to ask her, are you married? She said, Jay, let's not go into that. I really like you. Are you married? She said, yes, I'm married. I'm sorry. I can't do this. You know what she said? She said, I waited for my husband since university days. We became married. I wanted to hear the end of the story. Why is she lamenting? She said, Jane, I'm sorry, she didn't see mine yet, so don't go there. But she said when it was the night to have this thing done, he said, my husband removed penis. Penis no pass like this. Guys, it's actually funny, but this, she was saying this and she was crying. I felt her pain, but I'm like, sorry, mine will not be the, the remedy to, you have to go back and face. So, how many people can she tell this story?
This mindset of size is a social construct.
Well, but don't say that. Please, let's be honest. I'll throw this to the ladies, but let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not trying to these guys with small quarrel, but...
No, but let me just one more thing. All right. Before you ask the question, before you ask the question, let me say something.
Okay.
See, the world has developed to an extent that, there are so many herbs that you can take now.
No, but
No. It could be a thing. I'm telling you, I know. There are things, there are things that you can use. I'm telling you the truth. There are things that you can use in few months. I get what I'm saying? Yes, size and length.
What's the after effect? Do you know the after effect of that?
See.
Okay, let's ask this question.
Okay.
So, should people with...
I'm she. I've not had sex before.
Lord sanctify my body.
It's not possible, man.
It's not possible.
Yeah, we already have
So what are they say? What should people now with small penis do?
You have to work harder.
How? Is it their fault?
Actually, one problem that we probably have in our society is the hypersexualization of ladies. Ladies are not hypersexualized like men are. One of the factors that gives us, or that gives men their sex drive, is testosterone, which they have like 50 times the normal testosterone level in women. So that means the horniest woman that you have ever seen, the normal man is like 50 times more horny than that woman, just because of that hormone alone, right? So that means it's a woman's job to satisfy her man sexually. It's not a man's job to satisfy the woman sexually. If the man satisfies the woman sexually, well, that is a plus. Because like I was saying before, sex is not the one thing that women have in front to be satisfied from in a relationship. Sex is not the one thing that they're looking for as number one thing. Before you even get to having sex with a woman, you have had to satisfy her with a whole lot of other things before even getting to sex. So the one thing that she has to really, that the man is like, when a man goes to a woman in the first place, what he's looking for is sexual access. And so that means you should be if he is not getting satisfied sexually, then he has been wasting all of his time. But the woman has been extracting value from the man. The one value that he wants to extract is sexual access, and if he is not satisfied during that sexual access, then it's kind of crazy, right? So it's a woman's job to satisfy the man during sexual intercourse. And I think a woman is even more pleased when she actually knows that she has satisfied her man after sexual intercourse. Do you know, I'm sure woman will probably feel, maybe you can testify to that, if say you after having sex with your man and your man did not come, I'm sure you are going to feel very shitty. Like you were unable to satisfy the man during sexual intercourse, right?
Yeah, I understand, but I feel like with the experience I've seen or the experience I've had, it's easier for the man to actually come than the lady.
Yeah, then imagine that after having sex with a man, he doesn't actually come.
Is that really possible? Because
Well,
I feel
it
like
happens.
men are just instant being. And
Well, it happens. Women do not get sexually satisfied the way that men do get sexually satisfied. It's easier for a man to get sexually satisfied. And there are a whole lot of women who don't even get to their climax during sexual intercourse. But they are not displeased from the sexual intercourse, because one of their pleasures that they even get from that sexual intercourse is satisfying the man during the intercourse. You understand? And that means even before they got to the sexual intercourse, they were already really very, very satisfied from all the other things that the man brings to that relationship. So at the end of the day, if a woman is complaining about the dick of a man, then that just means that she doesn't respect him. And it's a problem that I'm saying, that this hypersexualization of women, which is really killing our society.
Religion and society has made people less open about sex.
True. I do believe that religion and society has really made people less open about sex, and that's what is killing a lot of marriages now in the church and even in the society, especially in our African culture, where it's like talking about sex is a taboo. But these are important topics that needs to be dealt with. I've seen marriages scatter, like end, just on the basis of sex. Like every other thing to ask, but they are not sexually satisfied and they are like, we need to part ways. So it's really an important topic that religion has tried to sweep under the carpet, and our society has equally swept it under the carpet.
Yeah, like I was saying, sex is very important in a relationship, especially in a long-lasting relationship. Even though I think it's a double-edged sword now, with as concerns the society, because the society now is copying a lot of westernized things, which being open to sex and sexual liberation, as from with feminism and stuff like that, which are usually. The one funny thing with our society, with our Cameroonian society, is that they tend to copy all the wrong stuff from abroad. So, like with all the sexual liberation, single motherhood, and most of these vices that you find overseas, which comes from sexual liberation and and contraception and all of these things, it has made the sexual discussion a little bit more open in society. But with the church, I think it is still a little bit restricted, which could be a good thing as well as a bad thing. Because a good thing as in, there are many of these things that need to be discussed. Yeah, like prevention of unwanted pregnancies, prevention of STIs and all of these things, which is a good thing, which should be talked about. And then the bad thing that comes to it is now the hypersexualization of young girls and the exposure to all the vices in the society, like prostitution and pornography and all of these things, which have kind of become very rampant and which are kind of destroying the fabric of our society, which are destroying the values of our society, which, well, like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it sure is.
as a preacher, right? And
they're running to come and sit.
you will not let me be myself because you want me to
of the expectation,
yes,
right?
of religion and the society.
Protecting your reputation as a preacher, right?
So everyone
What
is
if
for
I
except
am
the
created
pastor.
to be a porn star? Let's be honest, it's a business. It's a profession.
Created to be a porn star, Papa.
Adult just by choice.
One thing I want you guys to know is this. Let's leave religion out of it. You guys are mentioning religion. Listen, dog, calm down. It's a decision thing. It's a decision. Let's just hide under that society. Even after society tell you this, you just tell you this. It's your own personal decision. Okay, you want to concur or not. I didn't grow up from my dad was not a pastor. Let me be sincere with you. He was fat here. If I told you where my dad came from,
I want to ask
we're not even guy man.
I want to ask you a question.
Guy man.
I want to ask you.
I followed him to all those places.
I like your point.
You know what I'm saying?
I like your point. One question, please.
Let him finish.
I grew up. I see all those things, but thank God, somewhere along the line, there was a change. Somewhere along the line, so it's not how to do with religion. I decide to be the man I want to be.
Hallelujah.
It's even love himself. What is love? You decide to stay with this person for the rest of the day. It's a decision.
There's agape love.
That's why calm down. That's why. That's why they said till death do us part. The reason why I can stick with that till death is because I decide to stay. Whether it's raining or it's sunny.
And you made a vow. You made a vow.
So let's understand that part. That it's a decision. I decide. Again, I'm saying, not that not that there's not been challenges. There have been challenges. There is always plenty challenges, but we are still there enjoying the thing. So, and so many people are even envying us that how are they doing it?
Bro, let me be honest with you, Let me be honest with you. Right here,
You cannot be up director.
Right here, I can be sure. I can give it to you. I can give it to you. I can give it to you that religion is not making him say some certain things.
No. Don't twist it.
Do you wait?
He said it is decision, right? It is your personal decision. Is that not? Then why does religion and the society itself come back? No, hold on. Now come back to condemn a personal decision of an individual.
He's saying no, it's a matter of choice. Why is it that?
Don't you get it?
98.9% of the decisions you make in your life is dependent on what religion will say. What does religion say about it? And what will society say about it? If I do this thing, what would they say?
And even when you do it, you get
judged. People are living in fear.
Unconsciously, we give a lot about the society. All this lie, they should not be lying. I said our parents failed in the aspect of not telling us exactly what marriage entails because they leave out the sex parts, the sexual parts of marriage. They don't tell us because why? I don't know. As one time I used to see me one day, I asked somebody, I said, do you know the kind of style? Do you know the kind of style your daddy Joe and mommy Joe do in the house? So you'll be saying I want to look like pastor. You cannot say I should do doggy. Please.
I will consider ending a marriage with a partner that is not good in bed.
Personally, on a personal level of choice, I won't consider any. If you, like you said, if you can provide every other thing and you are not good in bed, we can always work things out as long as you are teachable and you are willing to learn. So I will not want to consider ending the relationship or ending the marriage because you're not good in bed. We can always work it out. Okay? That's my personal decision. Everybody has their opinion.
Well, sex is not the most complicated thing. How many styles are there for you to be saying good in bed, bad in bed? Me, I even think that is a very funny thing to say because it's not a sport. It's just not.
It's football.
It's no sports that you need like some elite skills to. It's not a competition. So at the end of the day, how many things do you want to do that is going to like blow your mind? like say good in bed or whatever. So I think there's a lot more to relationships than just sex.
Yeah.
And more to that, like I was saying, no matter how it is, the man is going to be able to satisfy himself, given the fact that both of them are enjoying themselves. If both of them are actually enjoying themselves and they're actually giving themselves to each other, then the man is going to come, and that is the most important part. So there's no magic.
Leaving that marriage, leave my partner in love with sex.
There are many of them. Therefore,
already I've said it that me and for test before you go. So, well, except in fact, there's no except.
In as much as you try to live in the denial that I don't want to let the world know this is the way I'm crying, that my husband doesn't do this, or my wife
is not satisfying.
Let's even forget the fact that I'm a woman. You see some men be like, okay, we see movies like, oh, Jenny's how you know how to do is mommy and daddy, why can't you give me this? Or let's just explore and do this and do that. And so, you know, you see, oh, that's when the man would start going outside
to go and do the other do.
Exactly.
Okay, this is what I want to do. I saw something online some time ago. A woman said she caught her husband cheating. Then she now said that please, I'm going to be your side chick. Now let me be the side chick and the main girl. The husband now said, okay, no wala. Then they played along, and the husband came back home as per I'm coming to visit side chick.
Okay.
And requested for anal. Did the anal with her, did everything, all the rough styles that he could do. The next day, the husband called again. Have a side chick. Please, let me stay the main girl.
Right.
So the thing is, if you fall short, maybe along the line, except of course if it is medical.
Exactly. That's
something that. But there's nothing medical about it. Or maybe, okay, because I know the stress around you is much in actual sense, because when there is too much stress, it affects the mind. And when the mind is not in right order, how would you want to perform, even as a woman? But aside that, all of it.
Can I ask you? In fact, she mentioned Anna. Now that you said that that blowjobs is fine. What about Anna?
no, I don't advocate for Anna. First, it's the wrong place. Secondly, it's risky medically. It's not even. I don't even advocate for it. And from what I know, it's painful. So why would I be going through such pain? No, me.
You're saying that is the wrong hole, so is the mouth now.
Sex was supposed to be between the penis and the vagina, not the penis and the anus. So it's not right in every sphere of life. Anyway you look at it, it's wrong. Don't do it. Please. And I don't understand when they keep saying not good in bed. From their arguments though, it's not really a matter of not being good in bed. It's a matter of if your partner is teachable and willing to evolve. Because like you said, sex is not a sport. And I think it's also something that you guys are learning with time, because you are learning each other's body, what makes each other tick. So the goal should be for your partner to be teachable, your partner to be open-minded, because some partners say, I say they stereotype. They don't want to know nothing, they don't want to learn nothing.
It's simple to say that to be teachable, but sometimes it's also very frustrating now. So imagine we are all about get married to virgins, right? But imagine a virgin who has never done the do before. The hymen is still intact, the sensitivity is still intact, and then somebody wants to go in there. Only that fear and only that pressure and only that you want to touch smaller that they don't shout, say whoa. You want to touch, they don't shout, say whoa.
Go slowly now.
They don't shout, say whoa.
Go slowly.
Go slowly.
Yes. Or go slowly. Reassure her.
Wait.
When you finally enter or break the hymen, or you guys are married. Please, this is only for married couples. Nobody's going to This is only for married couples. When you guys are finally married, like, break the hymen. When you're finally broken the hymen, you can now start teaching her. After the hymen has broken, is that pain? After the hymen has broken, she'll start enjoying it now.
No, sometimes before you want to break the hymen ladder, you have probably tried for like a week.
Be patient. Take
1 month even.
Yes. Be patient until she's psychologically ready.
That means that every time you are trying, you are aroused and then you derouse yourself.
You'll get there.
After 1 week trial, most men are going to be like, I beg my job will find out difference.
No, the girls too should not make it so difficult. If you have married, I know it's difficult, especially if you are a virgin, but try now. Hold your heart, Pele will be okay. Okay.
That's why I drop into 14. Please, what excuse you?
So the truth is, for speaking for myself as a man, I will definitely walk out of the marriage.
Or maybe after you must have talked about it, and tried everything.
My dear, definitely we must have gotten to that point. And if I'm not seeing any changes, I will walk away. I mean, in quotes, out of the marriage if you are not good in bed. Because it's always going to hurt me to turn around and look at you and realize that you are not good. I'll start thinking of my ex. Why do you think a married woman would carry a marital issue to a pastor and leave her husband and call pastor daddy? Pastor has pointed person to me that, you see that woman, this woman enter my office and open breast. Do you understand? Yes. And I will not blame them. I would not blame them because most of them is either the husbands are not listening or the husband is not doing right or they don't even know the right person to talk to.
And men find it a certain way when you try to correct them about something. It hurts their ego.
Exactly.
And the disagreeers, please step forward.
Let me start with the scripture. Matthew 16 verse 9. He said, what God has joined together, let no man what?
Put asunder.
So sex should not put us asunder. If you really love this woman or love this man,
is sex a person?
On that, you know what I'm saying? Because there are things to see. I was telling you that I will use my personal experience. My wife is not the sex type. Me, I'm a street guy. I love it. I get what I'm saying.
Oh,
but
wow.
this person I'm married to. I get what I'm saying. I have to.
There's something that.
Because of love, you calm down.
Yes. When I hear somebody say that my wife is not the sex type, what comes to mind is that they say women are going to break rules for the guys they like, and are going to make more rules for the ones they don't like. If a woman tells you that she's not a sex type, she doesn't just like you like that.
Oh.
Let me just say it. Because when she's going to meet that guy where she's that bad guy, she's going to break all her rules for that guy. So if she keeps on making rules, I don't like it like this. They don't touch me like this. I don't do this one. She doesn't just like you like that.
I cannot attest to the validity of that statement, but
no, like seriously, when a girl meets a man that she really loves, she respects, and she admires, she breaks all her rules for that guy.
Definitely.
But the guy that she's just managing, the guy who is just the placeholder, rules upon rules upon rules. Don't come back at this time. Oh, don't touch me like this. I am tired. Rules upon rules.
Well, to an extent, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
true.
for the man,
some people don't just have high sex drive. They're just.
At the end of the day, it's not really about the woman's sex drive. It's the woman's commitment to you. Because, like I said, women do not have as high a sex drive as men do. But the woman needs to understand that she has a duty to her husband, and it needs to be on command. When husband asks her, you give him. When husband asks her, you give him. Whether you're happy that day or whether you're sad that day or whether you're how, when husband asks her, you give him.
Yeah.
There's no, whether you are having an argument or when husband asks her, you give him. It's not supposed to be used as a weapon. Because when you start using it as a weapon, that is where things start to go very awry.
Well, that's true.
I had to calm down. Get into our level. 5 years now, we are still flying. Again, I'm saying.
There's a big difference in she is not the sex type and she is not good.
And she dropped. No, she's not the sex type and she stopped liking it.
Do you understand?
She stopped. She fell short. That's the prompt now. That's the prompt now. Like, will you leave a marriage? It means it's been good. Then all of a sudden the sex stopped being good.
Okay.
Have you read now, as men? Have you read this medical whatever it is? Survey, I've been a researcher. What do they call it? That when you don't have, when a man needs to be having sex to prevent prostate cancer. Abi?
Yeah.
So now you're not saying you'll be treated normally, bro. In fact, she be a pastor. Let me just advise you that you be praying that eventually your street will not enter back, because it's either you up, because you. That you want to calm down, it doesn't work for a man. Forget it. There's nothing you can tell me. I'm a woman born alive. No,
I'm talking from experience.
Forget it.
5 years. So when I ask people,
I feel. Yeah, if you love your wife, that's where I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree that one. Yeah.
If you love your wife,
you can balance it.
No. You can balance it. I once have a guy, a friend, yeah. When he met the girlfriend, she was not meeting up with his sex urge, and I was like, "What you go do?" I will train her because I love her, and he trained his babe.
Do you get
Before you know it, the girl giving him doggy.
Yes.
Before you know it, it was. Yeah, do you get it?
Have you even thought that probably you are not doing it right? So I'm sorry. Because there's nobody, see, there's no woman under this earth. It's only the circumcised one that I can say they don't really enjoy sex. But no woman who is uncircumcised will tell me she doesn't enjoy sex. If she finds a man that does it right,
let me ask you a question.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question.
That's what I'm saying.
Before you became a pro, how were you at the beginner stage?
In actual sense, I don't think I was at any point in my life.
As a beginner?
No. Maybe probably I started with somebody that knew how to do it.
That's another key point. No, it's a key point.
How to do it. See, there are some people, just like I said earlier, when you guys came in, I said, you get some guys where they get gola, they know how to use them. They get the
it's
right
not about the size.
It's not about the size, it's not about
See, the truth is here, there are people
you don't know how
who you start with really matters. Do you understand? Who you start, it's like charity begins at home. Who you start really matters. I'm
It's a process of learning.
Now you start with somebody that just want to do it.
Yeah, you learn and unlearn.
Somebody must come after this discussion.
Talking about size there, in fact, for you, is it length or girth?
Is it what?
Length or girth?
I'll say girth. Does length really matter? I don't think that length matters that much. To me. I don't know about you guys, but to me, like she said, you can have the length, have all of that, but you don't know how to use it. So,
short king, so yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so we've come to the end of the video, and I've given out my responses to the prompts. I would equally like to know your responses in the comment section. And please, I'm saying this disclaimer again. If you just entered around the last video, this is strictly for married couples. Nobody should carry Katie White or Christian even Muslim account putting there that we are teaching singles to fornicate, okay? So if you loved the show, if you loved this episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow my Facebook page, Katie White, and we post every Thursday at 7 p.m. prompt on Facebook and on YouTube. You can get to us if you want to be a guest on the show, or if you have feedback, suggestions, or questions, especially from this reaction. If you have questions, please get to us at info.christianlivingroom.com or at 676863808 on WhatsApp. Okay, until next time, I remain Katie White, your host. Ciao. Bye.